What is going on, stallions? Welcome to the channel. And today we're gonna take a look at the car I've been driving for the past 4 years. It's my 2014 Mustang GT. Now I've had this car for 4 years. I've had a lot of time to drive it. I've put enough miles on it, and we're gonna go for a drive. Now the car, of course, has the 6-speed manual transmission. Manual is, of course, the way to go. You're not gonna get a muscle car and drive it with an automatic transmission. For sure, this is Southern California. There is traffic a lot on the freeway. However, you know, I think it is way worth it compared to a manual or to an automatic transmission. But you know. We're going to be talking about the practicality of this car and how it is driving it every day. You know, this car's been out for a while. The specifications of it are pretty much known. This is a 2014 Mustang GT. It has the Coyote 5.0 engine producing about 420 horsepower. It's a great car. It's comfortable. This car does have the Recaro seat package. These seats are great. It has an aftermarket overhead unit that I've put in. I wasn't that much of a fan of the stock console area. The sync is okay. This car also has the 373 gear ratios, so not quite as short as 410s, but they're still pretty short. So let's talk about cabin space. So this car does have 4 seats. Comes with rear seats. I've kept the rear seats in. There have been circumstances where having the 2 seats in the back has actually come in handy and had to, you know, take people. So room in the back is actually not too bad if you don't have 2 giant people up front. There is enough seat space for the passenger and the driver for as well as the people in the back. I've actually had people who have ridden in this car tell me about how comfortable the rear seats actually are. They are a nice cloth seat, you know. If you listen closely, you'll also hear that the car is not extremely loud, but it does have a set of aftermarket mufflers. I've kept this car pretty quiet. Haven't done anything major to it. I plan on doing more stuff in the future with this car. I love this car, but so yeah, you can fit 4 people in it pretty comfortably. The manual transmission feels great, no complaints, no problems with it. The car drives great. It doesn't feel like a boat like some muscle cars do. It's not too heavy, and this car is tuned, so it has it's gonna have a little bit more power than the stock Coyote 5.0. But yeah, the power is there, man. The car feels great. It's great to drive. Driving it every day, the only thing I would say is bad is obviously the gas mileage. The gas mileage on this car with a tune is not very great. So getting about 9 to 12 miles per gallon city isn't very great. You know, the highway can get up there in the 20s if you're being nice. Another thing I want to mention about this car is this is the last year S197 model, so it still does have the live axle in the rear. So the newer Coyotes, the S550s, they have independent rear suspension, which is a completely different experience. You know, the way that these cars handle is different. I will say that there is something that's much more muscle about this car. You know, when I think of a newer Mustang, I almost think of more of a sports car, but I think this year, in my opinion, is one of the last, if not the last year of the muscle Mustang. You know, the Mustangs have evolved so much from, you know, you can't turn in that car, you know, you can't track them, although you've had beautiful cars like the Boss 302s and other track cars. They were generally not looked at as like, you know, you could go and track that car. But you know, Ford's killing it recently. The new GT350, the new GT500, that's been teased a little bit. You know, I think Ford's come a long way, and I truly think that this year is the last year of the real muscle Mustangs, the GT500 and the GT. Another pretty cool thing I will say about this car is the trunk space is actually quite spacious. The opening itself isn't half bad, it could be bigger, but if you can fit something through that opening in the trunk, you'll discover there's actually quite a bit of room. You can actually fit probably almost 3 sets of golf clubs back there. So yeah, I'll say that after 4 years of ownership of this car, it's a great car. I'm a huge muscle car fan. Anything American made, I was raised with American cars. They're like my favorite type of vehicle. If I plunk this thing in 6th gear, it's quiet and it's pretty comfortable. This car is a little bit lowered, it's on springs, but I think even the suspension, driving it on normal roads, I think we're quite lucky here in Southern California. Some of the roads here are actually really nice. Of course there's areas where they could be better, but the car runs great. I've had my fair share of instances of being in this car in traffic, and it is not as bad as I think some people would make it out to be. The car shifts great. I have no complaints with the gearbox. These MT82 manual transmissions, they can be quite fragile, as some people have found out the hard way. But I've had no problems with this car. I don't power shift, I don't launch it really, but I think if you just take care of it, you won't have any problems of the sort. So the main question I pose in the title of this video is, 4 years later, is it still good? And yes, this car is still amazing, even by today's standards. The way it drives, the feel of the car, the live axle in the rear can get you into some trouble, but you know what? It's a muscle car, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to drive perfect. It's not supposed to be, handle like these new sports cars. This car right here has been amazing over the past 4 years, and I can't wait to keep updating you guys about this car, what I do to it. We're gonna have more things coming soon. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, click the notification bell. We're gonna have cool things coming, new things that I do to this car, and new things that I do to my car that you guys haven't seen yet. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later.